Economic reforms in India refer to the policy changes introduced by the government to improve the efficiency and growth of economy. These reforms began in 1991 during a major economic crisis. The government reduced controls on businesses, encouraged private investment, and opened the economy to global markets. Overall, these reforms aim to promote economic growth, increase competitiveness, and integrate India with the world economy. The economic reforms in India have been discussed in detail in this article. Economic reforms in India background. The economic reforms of 1991 were introduced due to a serious economic crisis faced by India in the late 1980s and early 1990s. During the 1980s, economic growth increased, but it created large fiscal imbalance because government expenditure was much higher than its income. To manage this gap, the government borrowed heavily from foreign countries and international institutions. As a result, India faced an unfavorable balance of payments situation. Imports increased faster than exports, leading to a large current account deficit and a rapid fall in foreign exchange reserves. Inflation and food prices also increased, while domestic and foreign debt kept rising. India's credit rating declined, commercial loans were reduced, and many NRI deposits were withdrawn. The 1990 Gulf crisis, which increased oil price, further worsens the situation. By 1991, India had very little foreign exchange left, enough to cover imports for only about 2 weeks, and international institutions like the International Monetary Fund and the World Bank were unwilling to give new loans. These severe crises forced the government to introduce economic reforms in 1991. New Economic Policy 1991. To manage the economic crisis of 1991, India approached the International Monetary Fund and the World Bank, also known as the International Bank for Reconstruction and Development, and received about $7 billion as a loan. In return, these institutions asked India to reduce government control, encourage the private sector, and remove trade restrictions to open the economy by the world. India accepted these conditions and introduced the new economic policy in 1991. The main aim was to create a more competitive economy and remove barriers to business growth. The reforms were broadly divided into two types. Stabilization measures, short-term steps to control inflation and improve the balance of payments by maintaining enough foreign exchange reserves. Structural reforms, long-term changes to improve efficiency and increase global competitiveness. These reforms were mainly carried out through three major policies: liberalization, privatization, and globalization. Liberalization refers to removal or reduction of government controls and restrictions in the economy to promote competition, efficiency, and growth. Major liberalization reforms were introduced in 1991 to open different sectors of the economy. Deregulation of industrial sectors. Before 1991, industries required government permission through industrial licensing, and many sectors were reserved for the public or small-scale industries. After reforms, industrial licensing was removed for most industries, and market forces were allowed to determine production and prices. Financial sector reform. The financial sector include banks, stock markets, and financial institutions. Earlier, it was strictly controlled by the Reserve Bank of India. Reforms allowed more freedom to banks, encouraged private and foreign banks, and permitted foreign institutional investors to invest in Indian rural markets. Tax reform. Tax rates on income and corporations were gradually reduced to encourage savings and reduce tax evasion. Indirect taxes were simplified, leading to the introduction of the goods and service taxes in 2017 to create a unified national market. Foreign exchange reform. In 1991, the rupee was devalued to improve the balance of payment situation. Later, exchange rates were largely determined by market demand and supply. Trade and investment reforms. The government reduced import restrictions, lowered tariff rates, and removed most important licensing to promote international trade, foreign investment, and global competitiveness. Privatization. Privatization refers to reducing the role of government in public sector enterprises by transferring ownership or management to the private sector. This can be done either by withdrawing government control or by selling public sector companies to private investors. Disinvestment. Privatization mainly took place through disinvestment, where the government sold a part of its share in public sector enterprises to the public or private sector. The main aim was to improve financial discipline, modernization, and efficiency. It was also expected that private capital and better management would improve the performance of these enterprises and encourage foreign direct investment. Greater autonomy to PSUs. The government also tried to improve the performance of public sector undertakings by giving them more managerial freedom. Some efficient PSUs were given special status such as Maharatna, Navaratna, and Miniratna. Globalization. Globalization means integrating a country's economy with the world economy to increase trade, investment, and economic cooperation among countries. Outsourcing. Outsourcing means hiring services from other countries instead of doing them within the company. Due to the growth of IT and communication, many services like BPO, accounting, and banking are outsourced to India because of low cost and skilled labor. World Trade Organization. The World Trade Organization was established in 1995, replacing the General Agreement on Tariffs and Trade. Its aim is to promote free and fair international trade by reducing trade barriers. India is an important member and has removed many trade restrictions according to WTO rules. Economic reforms in India assessment. The impact of economic reforms in India has been mixed, with both positive results and some challenges. Positive outcomes. Economic growth after reforms has been higher than the pre-reform period, mainly due to the rapid growth of the service sector. Fiscal deficit and inflation have been better controlled. India has emerged as an important player in areas like manufacturing, medical services, and IT. Exports, especially software exports and remittances from Indians abroad, have increased, leading to a strong rise in foreign exchange reserves. India is now seen as a major emerging market because of its growing economy, young population, expanding middle class, and strong private sector. Issues and limitations. Economic growth has not been inclusive. There is a wide gap between agriculture and industry, and rural infrastructure remains weak. Reforms mainly focus on the economic sector, while the social sector such as health, education, social security, gender equality, and environmental protection receive less attention. Low public spending has increased inequality in education and social services. Indian society still faces major divides such as rural, urban, rich, poor, gender, and caste inequality. Need for inclusive growth. To achieve inclusive growth, the government needs to create more rural employment, improve infrastructure, and invest more in health and education. The state should also provide better public services to support weaker and marginalized sections of society.